Hi everyone, I'm Spencer and this is Spencer Trying His Best. And if you didn't already know, I have a debut novel coming out later this year. It's called Kind of Sort of Fine. And it's a contemporary young adult novel. It's a comedy, so it's a lot of fun. And it comes out in June. It's available for pre-order now. I hope you'll consider checking it out. Because I have a debut novel coming out later this year, I've actually had a chance to connect with a bunch of other writers who also have their debut middle grade and young adult novels coming out later this year. We're all a part of this internet group together. We collectively call ourselves the 20 Wonders because we all have books coming out in 2021, not because we all work at Forever 21. There's a lot of great books on the horizon for this year, so if you're interested, and if you're on the lookout for a great book, I hope you'll consider checking out the hashtag #The20Wonders on Instagram and Twitter. You can find a lot of great information there about the books and the writers themselves. As we've been moving into 2021, I've been trying to think of interesting ways that I can help support my fellow debut authors and get word out about their books. So I thought what we do today is play a little game where I look at some of the January 2021 debut books that are coming out, some that are out already, and I thought we'd take a look at their cover and their title, and I would try to guess the plot of the book based only on those two pieces of information. Now, like I said, I am a part of an internet group with all these debut authors, so I kind of already know what these books are about, but I thought this would just be a fun way to play a game that if I didn't have that information, what I would potentially think the book is about if I only saw the cover and only knew the title. Now, before we get started, I want to preface this by saying this is in no way me making fun of these books. I'm not mocking the titles or mocking the covers at all. Just thought this would be a fun game to play to get the word out about their books and maybe share with you some information that you didn't already know. Maybe get you looking forward to a book. Maybe you see something interesting here and you're like, hey, I want to check out that book. And then mission accomplished for me. So let's dive in. All right, so first up we have a book called Happily Ever Afters by Elise Bryant. This came out January 5th, so it's already in bookstores. And it has this lovely green cover here, got this lovely young lady on the front. She's kind of sitting at her computer, daydreaming. What's she thinking about? Well, Happily Ever Afters makes me obviously think about love stories. So, what does that have to do with this young lady? Well, she's sitting in front of a computer, and that makes me think that she's a hacker. All right, she's using this computer to hack people's dating profiles, and she's creating their, you guessed it, happily ever afters. Online dating is hard, so I've heard. I have no idea. But I think that this young lady is, kind of going in, messing with people's profiles, getting them to match, and she's helping them find their happily ever afters. So the question is why, right? So if you notice, there's also a little cupcake here sitting beside the computer. I think what's happening is that this young lady's parents own a failing cupcake shop or bakery. And what's happening is that this young lady, she's going in, she's messing with the dating profiles, and she's setting it up where each thinks the other really likes cupcakes. So they'll go on their first date, or maybe several dates, to her parents' cupcake shop, driving up business, driving up sales, and saving the whole cupcake business. It's really amazing, and if you think about it, that's how her parents get their happily ever after, because they now have a thriving business. Now let's see how right I actually was by figuring out what this book is actually about. Take it away, voiceover Spencer.
16-year-old Tessa Johnson has never felt like the protagonist in her own life. She's rarely seen herself reflected in the pages of the romance novel she loves, and the only place she's a true leading lady is in her own writing, in the swoony love story she shares only with Caroline, her best friend and #1 devoted reader. When Tessa is accepted into the creative writing program of a prestigious art school, she's excited to finally let her story shine. But when she goes to the first workshop, the words are just gone. Fortunately, Caroline has a solution. Tessa just needs to find some inspiration in a real-life love story of her own, and she's ready with a list of romance novel-inspired ideas to help set up her happily ever after. Nico, the brooding artist who looks like he walked out of one of Tessa's stories, is cast as the perfect Prince Charming. But as Tessa checks each item off Caroline's list, she gets further and further away from herself, and she risks losing everything she cares about, including the surprising bond she develops with Sweet Sam, who lives across the street. She's well on her way to having her own real-life love story, but is it the one she wants after all?
All right, the next book on our list is another book that came out January 5th. It's called The Quantum Weirdness of the Almost Kiss. This is by Amy Noelle Parks. This is another book that has a bright, colorful cover. Looks like a lot of fun. I'm digging it a lot. This has what appears to be a couple of different characters on it. I think this is, 3 different couples, but I think it's all the same characters. And unless there's just a lot of gingers in this book, which if there is, hey, thank you so much for including so many gingers in your book, Amy. Now, the word quantum makes me think that there is some science involved here. I honestly could not really tell you what the definition of the word quantum is because I majored in English and theater, but I believe it is a science word. That's about as far as my knowledge on that goes. And if you see here down in the bottom corner, it looks like two characters who are about to almost kiss. So I think what happens here is that every time these two people almost kiss, they time travel. That's my guess. So you can see down in the bottom left, there's kind of this what appears very formal, and then they get transported maybe to this sideways era here. The male character is wearing a long sleeve shirt under a short sleeve shirt, and I like to do that too, but my wife tells me when I do it that I look like I'm very 90s. So maybe they traveled to the 90s. I don't know. She is looking at a piece of paper here. Maybe she is looking at the set list for the Counting Crows concert that they're gonna go to. Very 90s. Then they time travel again to what appears to be the Upside Down. Although not the same Upside Down as Stranger Things, I don't think, because it seems much more pleasant. He is a baseball player, it looks like, and then she is in a boarding school. Somehow they are upside down, but her hair is still down, although it's up because they're upside down, but not up above her head, but down by her shoulders, but it's up because they're up. You guys know what I'm saying. You get it. You get what I'm saying. So anyway, how are these people gonna get to ever kiss? Ever, if all they continue to do is time travel when they almost kiss? That's the question. I think that's the question this book will answer, and I'm very intrigued. So anyway, let's find out how close I was to actually knowing what this book is about. Take it away, Spencer.
17-year-old Evie Beckham has never been interested in dating. She's been fully occupied by her love of mathematics and her frequent battles with anxiety. And besides, she's always found the idea of kissing to be a little bit icky. But with the help of her best friend and her therapist, Evie's feeling braver. Maybe even brave enough to enter a prestigious physics competition, and to say yes to the new boy who's been flirting with her. Caleb Kovic knows Evie isn't ready for romance, but assumes that when she is, she will choose him. So Caleb is horrified when he's forced to witness Evie's meet-cute with a floppy-haired, mathematically gifted transfer student. Because Caleb knows the girl never falls for the funny best friend when there's a mysterious stranger around, he decides to use an online forum to capture Evie's interest. Now he's got Evie wondering if it's possible to fall in love with a boy she's never met.
All right, the next young adult book on our list is called Wings of Ebony. It's by Elle, and it comes out January 26th. And if you look at this cover, this one looks like it's going to be a little darker than the others, a little more mysterious maybe. You have this young lady on the cover. She's looking very fierce. She's kind of pulling this hood up over her head, and that indicates to me that she is a superhero in hiding. I think we've all seen Marvel movies where like the Avengers need to like hide in public, hide in plain sight, and all they do is like put on like a plain baseball cap and wear some sunglasses, and suddenly no one can recognize them. I think that's what this young lady's trying to do here. She's trying to go into hiding. And what kind of superhero is she? That's the question. So Wings of Ebony makes me think that this young lady can communicate with birds. How did she get that power? I'm not sure. Maybe she was pecked by a radioactive bird. But now there's been some hostility. And now it's this young lady's job. She's the only one that can do it. She is going to try to broker peace between the birds and the citizens of Earth. And it's going to be difficult. She's got to go undercover. The government's looking for her. The bird people are looking for her. And this is a tough job. And I'm very interested to see how this plays out in Wings of Ebony on January 26th. Let's see how close I was. Spencer, take it away.
Make a way out of no way is just a way of life for Rue. But when her mother is shot dead on her doorstep, life for her and her younger sister changes forever. Rue's taken from her neighborhood by the father she never knew and forced to leave her little sister behind and whisked away to Gizan, a hidden island of magic wielders. Rue is the only half-god, half-human there, where leaders protect their magic powers at all costs and thrive on human suffering. Miserable and desperate to see her sister on the anniversary of their mother's death, Rue breaks Gazan's sacred do not leave law and returns to Houston, only to discover that black kids are being forced into crime and violence, and her sister, Tasha, is in danger of falling sway to the very forces that claimed their mother's life. Worse still, evidence mounts that the evil plaguing East Row is the same one that lurks in Gazan, an evil that will stop at nothing until it has stolen everything from her and everyone she loves. Rue must embrace her true identity and wield the full magnitude of her ancestors' powers to save her neighborhood before the gods burn it to the ground.
All right, the next book on our list is a book called Alone. This is by Megan E. Freeman. It's out January the 12th. If you look at the cover here, there's this young lady. She kind of has her back to us. She's kind of looking off into what appears to be the wilderness here. Looks like it's kind of snowy and wintry. She has her dog here. I'm going to say that this book takes place after some nuclear fallout. And eternal winter has set in. And sadly, everyone has perished except for this young lady here. And now she has to figure out how to survive. The only companion she has is her dog. However, kind of negative and positive here, the unexpected effect of nuclear fallout is that dogs can talk. Dogs have taken over. Dogs are running the world now. They have formed their own government. They're doing jobs. They're basically rebuilding society. And this girl is trying to figure out her place in this dog society.
A pack of wild dogs took over and successfully ran a Wendy's.
Will they accept her? Will she accept them? This is going to be tough. But, I believe in this young lady. I think she's going to figure something out. I'm very intrigued to read it alone and find out what exactly happens. And let's find out how close I was to figuring out what this book is actually about. Take it away, other me.
When 12-year-old Maddie hatches a scheme for a secret sleepover with her two best friends, she ends up waking up to a nightmare. She's alone, left behind in a town that has been mysteriously evacuated and abandoned. With no one to rely on, no power, and no working phone lines or internet access, Maddie slowly learns to survive on her own. Her only companions are a Rottweiler named George and all the books she can read. After a rough start, Maddie learns to trust her own ingenuity and invents clever ways to survive in a place that has been deserted and forgotten. As months pass, she escapes natural disasters, looters, and wild animals. But Maddie's most formidable enemy is the crushing loneliness she faces every day. Can Maddie's stubborn will to survive carry her through the most frightening experience of her life?
Alright, so that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed learning about some of the debut young adult and middle grade novels that are out this month. This was not a full exhaustive list at all. There are several other books coming out from the 20 Wonders this month, so I really do encourage you to check out that hashtag on Twitter or Instagram. You can learn about all of the books that are coming out this year. You can stock up your TBR list and it'll be overflowing for sure. If you guys like this video, maybe I'll revisit this concept every month for 2021 and we can continue guessing what all these books are about and I can continue spreading the word for all these awesome debut authors. I really do hope you'll check them out and I'll see you next time.